Hello everyone, welcome to another Nation Review episode. Like before, the topics are the following: unique units in general, then for standard and nomad, nation bonuses, economy, rushing, raiding, defense and scouting, and finally the team bonuses in general. According to the poll on Facebook, Indians are the most requested nation to review, so without further ado, let's get into it. The Indian unique unit is, you guessed it, the elephant. The single most broken, balanced unit in the game. They beat every other unit of the corresponding age in a simple 1v1 situation. This is one of those cases when the in-game description is misleading, which says elephants are strong against heavy infantry and weak against light infantry/archers. While the fact is, elephant beats any of these units. Actually, the heavy infantry are the closest to defeating the elephant in 1v1. Before I move on to explaining what happens in these tests I recorded, I need to group the elephants into two categories. One category is the Mahout line, that includes the elephants from age 3 to 5. The second category is the age 2 war elephant. The reason for this separation is that the Mahouts get a unit mask that basically makes them ranged cavalry, which are the horse archer/dragoon line. They become more vulnerable to archer fire and light cavalry, just like horse archers are. They have the same abilities as well, with only ranged attack and being able to fire while moving. On the contrary, war elephants do not suffer extra damage against archers and are pretty much indestructible even when facing multiple archers and javelineers. So as you might have noticed, a single war elephant could kill 4 javelineers with ease, same result against 2 archers. I am too lazy to research what is going on exactly with the javelineers' damage output against elephants, because it's more like a glitch than an intended feature to me. The elephant also beats 2 of the cavalry units as well, making them incredibly broken units of the game. So what does this mean in a practical sense, talking about a real game between good players? Because it sounds like this unit should be banned by the community, looking at how imba it is. In reality, in a standard game, classical age elephants are hard to mass because their cost is quite high, even with Indian's 15% cheaper bonus. Also, there is this guy. When you have just 1 or 2 elephants, better run when you see him, because you do not want to lose an expensive war elephant to bribery. How can the player defend against classical age elephant raids with despotism though? In that case, enough upgraded heavy infantry can do the job, provided there are no enemy archers, in which case cavalry counter is needed. So while the war elephant is a broken unit, in most cases the possibility to counter is available. Still, some balance changes are necessary. So how broken exactly is the Mahout line compared to the war elephant? Since they receive more damage overall from the popular unit choice of crossbowmen, they are not quite as broken as the classical age version. However, in Gunpowder Age, we have the option of researching monarchy in the Senate, making elephants significantly cheaper and stronger. So the only way to beat elephants with monarch is to have the numbers advantage or using spies. And since spies can be countered with explorers, the elephant spam in age 4 and 5 remain a balance issue that needs to be fixed. This puts the Indian and Persian gunpowder/enlightenment army in the top 3 easily, by my point of view. Just because I was curious, I checked to see how the chariot/Mameluke line battles against the age-appropriate elephants, since they get bonus damage against ranged cavalry. They seem to have proven the theory of Mahouts being ranged cavalry, since the war elephant wiped the floor even with 2 chariots, but the other elephants were handily defeated by 2 Egyptian ranged cavalry. Alright, that's enough talk of elephants. If you want to learn more, check MHLoppy's blog post about them, link in the description. It is a great site for many other topics in this game as well. I recommend to check it out. I actually learned some of the information I'm giving here from those posts. Moving on to the nation bonuses, their first nation power is that buildings do not rise in cost except for wonders, towers, lookouts and forts, which rise at half the normal rate, and cities which rise normally. This is perhaps their most important bonus. It seems like a slight discount that saves some resources here and there, but it actually saves so much that this makes the Indians one of the best booming nations for standard. Since farms do not rise in cost, putting down 12 farms costs about 480 wood instead of the 888 with the generic nation. That is 400 wood that can be used elsewhere, and this is just for the farms. On markets, universities, temples, barracks, stables, and many other buildings, you also save tremendous amount of resources, making this an excellent bonus even for the very long term. By the way, this description is a bit misleading because wonders rise in cost normally, even for the Indians. Their second nation power is that cities have +4 range in the economic radius. This bonus sounds quite insignificant, but it can be quite nice to have in some situations. Remember all those times when the metal mine is just outside of the city's reach and building a smelter will be useless? Well, this problem is a lot more rare with the Indians. Also, being able to place buildings further means you can construct kind of a wall that will make raiding the city harder, also alerting you of incoming horse archers a bit earlier. When I'm playing defensively, I use this strategy to make my cities harder to raid. Their third nation power is that caravans bring plus 15% income. One of the economy bonuses that don't really help much until you put down the third city and create 3 caravans. But in the long term, it is a very significant gold bonus, putting them close to the best wealth nations, with the exception of Inca. Their last nation power is that war elephant upgrades are free, and war elephant units are 15% cheaper. The one bonus that single-handedly makes Indians the superior elephant nation over Persians. The upgrade cost for elephants is unusually high, with the 240 food and 140 gold, so saving on these is a big deal. Also, the fact that it is an instantaneous free upgrade means that your elephants are ready to fight once the aging is finished. The 15% discount makes the elephants a lot more affordable, and these bonuses combined with monarchy are simply insane. Moving on, the no ramping cost for buildings coupled with the 15% increase in caravan income makes for an amazing economy. These bonuses are more towards the long term, since they do not give such a jump start into the game like with Mongols or Dutch. However, their boom really begins to pick up once the third city is built, with the 3 caravans receiving the plus 15% bonus, and the last couple of farms still costing 40 wood, and at the same time being able to build 80 wood markets in all 3 cities helps with the gold income as well. The no ramping cost indirectly gives more gold in another way though, that is not widely known by players. Since every building stays cheap, you are more likely to build a university, temple, 5 farms, market, woodcutter camp, metal mine, later on granaries, lumber camps in every city. And because of the way caravans work, your gold income will be higher because you have more buildings than normal. The explanation for this is that caravans get +1 income for each building you have in one of the cities. As an example, I had one game with Indians where I had spies, no gold rares, and after finishing most of the buildings I needed for a 200 economy, my wealth was +200 blinking. Most nations cannot manage this with just 3 cities and spies. So overall, in the beginning they are a bit slow, but the booming potential is amazing once 3 cities are up. 9 out of 10. About their rushing abilities. The Indians are better suited for booming than rushing, but they certainly have their options there. For classical age, their elephants are crazy strong, and if you can make just a few of them coupled with heavy infantry to reduce the city, this rush can be very effective. The main issue with classical age rush is time though, and Indians are not among the faster nations in the beginning. The elephants are probably at their lowest potential in medieval age, while they can be nice meat shields, but the main hitting force will be crossbowmen coupled with knights, and while Indians do not get unique units or discounts for these units, the fast boom to 150 eco and a very solid wealth income allows to make a lot of these gold heavy units. I think it's a 5 out of 10 for rushing. Next topic is the raiding capabilities. The only bonus they get for raiding is their unique unit, which turns out to be excellent for this purpose. Classical age elephants are very hard to kill, so they are great to harass enemy villagers unless there is a senator coming to bribe. From medieval age, elephants become horse archers on steroids, so they are great raiding units. There is one thing they lack compared to the horse archer though, which is speed, and if you forget to send an explorer with the raiding elephants, they cannot outrun enemy spies, so need to be careful here. Also, elephants are more expensive than dragoons, so sometimes it is better to have them in main army instead. But overall, the raiding potential is nice, and it is helped by the increased wealth income too. 7 out of 10. Next up is their defense. They do get some discount when it comes to building multiple towers and forts, so you can build more of them. Other than that, the caravan bonus helps with creating more archers to defend. And while elephants are great at tanking damage, it might be better to make only 2 or 3 of them while defending, because they do not count as much as infantry when it comes to deciding which army can capture or hold the reduced city. Also, they are more expensive, so in the end, you might have fewer units than what is needed to hold the city. And losing the city means losing senator healing and any income there. So even though they have nice bonuses for defense, I do not think it's better than the average, considering their slower start. 5 out of 10. And finally, scouting. They do not really receive any bonuses in this regard that I can think of, so scouting is 1 out of 10. Moving on to Nomad. So they do not lose any of their nation bonuses from standard, which is nice because not many nations have this. Their long-term booming potential is much harder to unlock though, because most Nomad games are decided before Gunpowder Age. But if they get there, they can become unstoppable, just like in standard. First topic is economy. So their economy has similar strengths and weaknesses as in standard, some small bonuses in the beginning, and really start saving a lot of resources on the second and third market, temple, barracks and the rest. The higher wealth income applies here as well, so once Indians have 3 cities up, their gold will not suffer at all. Overall, I think it's a 7 out of 10 for economy. Moving on to rushing. While they do save some wood early on, the point of classical age rush is to be as fast as possible, which Indians are usually not. If we are talking about a delayed classical age attack with bigger armies, they have a lot of potential though. Making 4 or 5 elephants is possible before opponents age up. I think it's 5 out of 10 for rushing. About their raiding. So this is probably their weak point in Nomad. If the opponents have some good rares, it can be hard to raid them, because Indians do not really get any bonuses for ancient raiding. However, sending 1 elephant to rares in classical age can clear up even 2 guarding units, so they are not the worst at raiding. 3 out of 10. Next topic is defense. They are a bit slow in the beginning, making them vulnerable against fast aggressive nations, but the ramping discount on towers can help a lot, and if they survive the early few minutes, the wealth bonus enables massing many archers, while at the same time increasing scholar production. In my eyes, they are above average to defend with in Nomad, 6 out of 10. And finally, their scouting in Nomad. Similarly to standard, no scouting bonuses, 1 out of 5. Moving on to team bonuses. Other than being able to raid multiple players with some elephants, not much comes to mind why the Indians are better team player than the generic nation. I guess they can build more towers to protect rare resources or allied cities. No ramping costs also means it is easier to build barracks and stables in your allies' base if you already built it somewhere else. I'd say it is 2 out of 5 for teamwork. So there you have it, Indians with some weaknesses in early game, but amazing boom potential and insanely strong unique unit. If you give them time, they can destroy any nation. Let me know what you guys think of this review and subscribe to see more of this content. See you in episode 3.